Hare Krishna, dear devotees. In this video, I would like to talk about how to request devotees to pray for you or your relatives or your loved ones. Especially these days, many of us are going through so many difficult situations because of COVID, especially in India nowadays. Just in a matter of days, people are losing their lives of beloved ones. So, and all devotees, when something happens, we always go to devotees. Right now we cannot go physically, but on the WhatsApp and Telegram and on mailing, we just go to devotees and say, please pray for my grandfather, or please pray for my neighbor because he is going through COVID. So then devotees also say, yes, we'll pray, message. So now, what devotees have very much valuable? Devotees have connection with Krishna. That's the most valuable thing devotees have. They're different from others. Other people may not worship God, may not worship Krishna, so they don't have that connection. There's devotees, they're in different levels, they're trying to connect with Krishna. So when we request devotees to pray for us or for our relatives, because they have Krishna in their heart and their connection is so strong that our prayers may be heard. Krishna is so great, the personality of Godhead is so difficult to approach. But it's like, imagine like approaching a president, Mr. Modi or whoever it is, in whichever country it is. If you want to approach him, you will find someone closer to him who's like wife. You will go to wife, please, dear ma'am, help me to solve this problem. I have this problem. Can you please? And you will please that ma'am. And when she goes and tells the president, you have to take care of him or her. Then you will achieve your goal. Because you yourself cannot go to the president. It's not in our capacity. Or if you want to go to minister, again, you have to go through servants. That's why we go to devotees to request from Krishna to do something for us, to help us. Now, what is prayer? When I say prayer, I mean the powerful prayer. I may pray, oh Krishna, I may go to the temple and, oh dear Krishna, dear Radha Krishna, or dear Gornitai, I'm standing in front of you. Please, today my neighbor's sister is having COVID. Let she not have. But she really needs your help. Please help her to get cured. And then I pray like this, and then I disappear from the temple. Actually, in my practice, I don't call it as a prayer. It's just a blabbering of words. I call a prayer when I pray and then when I get the response from God. And that means God doesn't respond. He is busy. He doesn't respond so easily. He doesn't respond if our heart is not purified, if our talking to him is very much attentive, very much honest, very much intense. He doesn't respond. Now, when I call a prayer should be something which will come from your heart. And when you pray intensely for half an hour, for 1 hour, for days, and then after that you feel satisfied, that satisfaction, that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of bliss, that means Krishna heard your prayer. And in some time he will respond to your prayer. That call it as a powerful prayer. Now, to help our relatives, we need that powerful prayer, not simple prayer. Oh Krishna, please help. It's like thick wall and I'm saying, oh Krishna, please help. Nothing's audible for Krishna, nothing. There's all these anarthas covered. We didn't cross through Krishna, and Krishna doesn't hear. To give some example of this, I'd like to tell a story. In our country, in my birth country, Turkmenistan, there was one Muslim lady, very pious Muslim lady, who used to do 5 times namaz, and very honest, very nice lady. But she had a problem, big problem. She was not having her husband. Maybe he died, we don't know. But she had only 2 daughters. And they were her life and soul. She was working whole life. She worked whole life to bring up these girls. And these girls were like 18 and 20. But the disaster happened. Because our country is so close to drug production country like Afghanistan, they legally produce so many drugs, and somehow the drugs come inside the country and so many young people get involved in using drugs. And the elder daughter started using drugs. She was using, all her hands were into all these injections, and she used to cover her hand. And the problem of a younger daughter is that whatever the elder daughter does, she follows in the footsteps. Now, both of them became so much addicted to drug that whatever pension mother gets, she was old, 65, and whatever pension she gets, they use up that. They sell the stuff from the house and buy narcotics and use and enjoy and get some kind of pleasure from it. Now, at one point, she got frustrated. She was approaching so many people for help. Nothing was helping. But someday she met one devotee. And this devotee was a brahmachari. He was not having wife, but she noticed the sincere heart in him. And then she went to that devotee. She literally fell at the feet of that devotee, and touching his feet, begged him. She told, my daughters are in drugs and I'm not able to help them. I need your help because you are a devotee of Krishna. I am also Muslim. I am also a devotee of God. But I am requesting you, please do something. Do something for my daughters. And she was so much honest in her request. And with her bodily features, bodily actions, she was showing humility and honesty. That devotee's heart got melted. He said, I will do everything in my hand, and I won't stop whatever I will do until your daughters leave those drugs. And he vowed that, and he went to his house. He was living in a 1-bedroom apartment alone. He locked inside, and for 1 year continuously chanted the holy names of Krishna, Hare Krishna mantra. He ate whenever body was needing food, something he ate, but all the time without talking to anyone. With continuous prayers, he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra and dedicating the results for these girls' benefits, welfare. As a result, the elder daughter left narcotics. As a result, younger daughter followed her. As a result, not only narcotics, but they started showing interest in devotional life. After that, they are always grateful for this brahmachari, especially the mother. And now maybe they're married, they have kids, and they improve their lives. So we need that kind of devotee and that kind of prayer and that kind of lady or soul who's approaching devotee to pray for her relatives. So in order to make the prayer powerful, we need to be connected to that person. We naturally pray intensely and powerfully for our parents, our partner, our kids, our relatives, someone we love. We naturally pray very powerfully. But to pray for someone unknown is very difficult because we don't have that connection. So that connection is a subtle connection which helps us to transfer that prayer to that person. And that connection helps us to have that emotional feeling for that person. And when we pray, our prayer becomes intense because of that connection. But if you go to the devotee and just message her, please pray for my auntie. That devotees are paradukkha dukhi. They will anyways pray. But if you want that powerful prayer, you need to do the next things. You need to create that loving connection. How we can do that? We can create that connection between that devotee and that our relative through pleasing the devotee first. And devotees are like Ashutosh. They are easily pleased depending on their level of devotion. The first thing you can do is, or one of the things you can do is using sweet words. Talk to devotee. Tell nice, honest words to devotee, to please the devotee, to reach the devotee's heart. And when that devotee feels so much happy within, devotees don't need that glorification or these things, but Krishna in their heart will be pleased. As a result, you will create that connection with yourself and your relative, your loved one. Now, one of the other things that you can show it with your bodily language. How this Muslim lady did. She was speaking so honestly. First thing we did. She was requesting, she was glorifying honestly this brahmachari. And the bodily action she did is sitting in her knees, was embracing the feet of that devotee. Now, just imagine if somebody comes and sits in your feet, won't you do something to that person? You want to give your life for that person. Devotees, if I am such a lowly person, I am ready to give my life and all things for that person. What about the devotees? They are so much merciful. They're gonna do everything for you. And the other thing is giving something you have the best in your life. Either it may be prasadam. You may feed devotees with sumptuous prasadam. Not just donating some money to the temple and then forgetting about it, but cooking yourself with so much love and then inviting them and accepting them as guests and feeding them, serving them with love and talking to them nicely. I'm talking about that kind of prasadam. Or you can give some donations if they're in need. Or you can give some gifts out of your heart, which is so precious for you. When we are talking about giving something best you have, example is like beggar in the street. He doesn't have anything, so he will go and work in one shop, Baskin and Robbins or some shop, and washes the windows of that shop, and then gets $10 or 10 rupees from that shop and brings that money to you and then donates to you. Please, today I saved this much and I am giving to you. Please be merciful to me. Bless my wife or kid so that he lives long life. Now, devotee's heart will be touched by that, because he is giving everything he has. He earned only $10 or 10 rupees and he is giving everything to you and then requesting you to pray for his relative. Now, if Bill Gates, who is swimming in the money, he goes and donates, it may not have that much effect. Whereas Bill Gates or this kind of people have the most precious thing for them is their name and pride and the prestige. If they come and then fall at the feet of the deities or fall at the feet of the lowest devotee, that will be like a phenomenous thing. Because that person had the most precious thing for him is his pride and his prestige, and then he is giving up that on the lotus feet of a devotee. So when we are talking about giving away something very precious to your heart, we are talking about think before what is precious for you. Other thing I would like to mention is that why devotees suffer in life? There are two things, or maybe three things. One is, if it's Krishna's will, we don't know. Krishna showers his mercy in the form of sufferings. So we don't know the answer. It's Krishna's will. Another is, it's karma. Because we are still in this body, we still have that prarabdha karma, and we have our chart. It's not disappeared anywhere. It may be in the shadow mode, but still our karma affects us. And the third and very important thing is that our offenses to devotees, to other living beings. Like Mother Surichi, who was Dhruva's stepmother. When Dhruva was not a devotee, she offended with words. And until Dhruva became a great soul, she didn't suffer. But when Dhruva became such a great soul, such a devotee, Surichi suffered miserably. Her, the only son, she dedicated her life, went to the forest and burned in fire. Along with him, she also died. So usually in our lives, these three things may cause us sufferings. Either Krishna's will, our karma, or our offenses. So one of the things which we can do is, in these difficult situations, we can approach devotees whom we hurt, whom we offended. Or right now we cannot go to them, but we can call to them, we can write to them and beg forgiveness. Because devotees, they don't wish bad things for you. But Krishna in the heart feels very upset when we hurt the devotee. Lotus feet of Krishna feels very, very upset. And then as a result, we may get so many sufferings in life. That's why whoever devotee is a younger devotee, not so serious devotee, or any living being, we shouldn't try to offend. And if we offended, we have to beg forgiveness. So this was the video on how to request devotees to pray powerfully for our relatives. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.